A report on unsafe abortions complication in public health facilities in Kenya, which was launched in February 2018, shows an estimated 464,690 abortions are procured in Kenya annually, of which a majority are unsafe, resulting in health complications and even death. The main victims are adolescent girls and young women aged 10 to 24 years. Moreover, an estimated 2,600 women die from unsafe abortions annually, and this works out to an estimated 7 women and girls every day, making unsafe abortions one of the major causes of maternal deaths in Kenya today. It is for this reason that the government opened up the space for conversation regarding reproductive health care for women in this age bracket.
So in 2015, the government of Kenya enacted adolescent and youth sexual reproductive health policy, a policy that enables and empowers women and young girls to be able to make decisions and have choices for their life, particularly, and this was because of the kind of oppression that we have within the societies, the cultures that we have. And you realize that a lot of people are still not open to it. Even the religious sector is still very closed towards it, when the reality actually is that this is happening. People are burying incest, people are trying to bury death, and we are losing a lot of good people, young people who can be able to serve our country. Remember, 47% of the people who go through all these unwanted pregnancies or unsafe abortions are actually teenagers. So you can see the kind of the breed of people that we are missing, and this is the future generation for this country.
The cost implication of abortion cannot be overlooked. According to a study carried out by African Population and Health Research Center in conjunction with the Ministry of Health between the year 2012 and 2016, shows that 2016 moving forward, the government has been annually spending more than $500 million Kenya shillings, an increase of nearly 24%, to treat complications arising from unsafe abortions compared to 433 million Kenya shillings in 2012. With abortion bearing such a huge economic burden, it is important that all relevant stakeholders open up candid conversations on the topic.
Well, there's huge economic costs on the country. In fact, the estimates that we have conservatively are it costs the government of Kenya $500 million shillings, 500 million shillings to deal with complications related to unsafe abortions. That's in the public health system. It could be way much more if you weighed in on the private sector. So there's a huge cost. Over and above that, then we also have a situation where we've got very high incidences of abortions. Like I mentioned, we've got about 500,000, and that's on the conservative side, abortions happening in this country. Yet we don't have capacity in a lot of these public health facilities. We don't have people who are trained to be able to conduct post-abortion care. As I mentioned earlier, there was the issue of the policies and guidelines on safe abortion care being put on hold by the Ministry of Health. And as such, amongst those policies included the aspect of training for healthcare providers on provision of safe abortion care services. So that training is no longer happening. There's no capacity. And the government is no longer training people. So there's a huge economic cost in the sense that we're losing all these people in terms of productive women and girls who would contribute a lot towards the economy of this country, just because we don't have the will, nor the facilities, nor the capacity to manage these cases. And what we're saying is we need some sort of direction in terms of guidelines so that we don't incur such huge costs on a problem that can most easily be resolved if we're all, aligned in our thoughts and how to go about addressing this issue.
According to WHO, globally, 56 million abortions occur each year, with 22 million being unsafe. A study conducted between the year 2010 to 2014 showed an estimated 8.2 million induced abortions occurred each year in Africa. This number represents an increase from 4.6 million annually during 1990 to 1994, mainly because of an increase in the number of women of reproductive age. The annual rate of abortion for the region is estimated 34 per 1,000 women of reproductive age 15 to 44. The regional abortion rate is roughly 26 per 1,000 for married women and 36 per 1,000 for unmarried women. Moreover, an estimated 93% of women of reproductive age in Africa live in countries with restrictive abortion laws. Abortion is not permitted for any reason in 10 out of 54 African countries, among them being Angola, Egypt, Senegal, and Madagascar, among many more. Only 4 countries in Africa have liberal abortion laws, Zambia permitting abortion for health and socioeconomic reasons, whereas Cape Verde, South Africa, and Tunisia permit abortion without restrictions as to reason with gestational limits. Even as the country seeks to balance both moral, legal, and social issues surrounding abortion, the economic implication of abortions cannot be downplayed. This is to hoping that all relevant stakeholders will find a middle ground.